The teachers of St. Joseph are a predatory group. Despite the warnings, a student fell prey to the worst of their cruel teaching methods, homework. One such victim is Matthew Nelson, found dead from an apparent heart attack. It remains to be a mystery how the teachers allowed this to occur. Now it is up to the esteemed detective Sydney to right the wrong of the predatory staff.
So, what were you doing near the library that allowed you to find the victim?
Well, at first I was grading the juniors' theological and cardinal virtues tests, but I got bored and started playing chess. Then I went to the bathroom, and then I was like, oh, I'm hungry, so I went to the teacher's lounge to get a snack. Then I left the teacher's lounge, but saw someone lying down in the library, so naturally I went to go give them a demerit, but I realized the student was not responding. I felt for a pulse, but there was none, so I started CPR. Obviously it didn't work, so then I called you guys.
You sure? A witness says that the victim destroyed your blinds earlier that day. They also said that you care about your blinds more than anything else, other than chess.
I would never inflict pain to another out of anger.
Do you have any information that might aid us in our investigation?
Well, I know that Matthew put an embarrassing count on Woodard in the kickball video last year, and she hasn't been too happy with him since.
I was pretty upset with him for a while, but I forgave him.
You just forgave him? That was a pretty embarrassing clip.
With lots of planning. He was a little frustrating last year, I'll give you that. But he had been very respectful and responsible this year.
Then you'll tell me where you were last Friday at 3:37 p.m.?
Friday after school. I have duty that day in the halls.
We have a witness placing you in the library near the time of death.
Oh, that's right. I left for a few minutes to talk to Clyburn.
At any time, did you see the victim?
No, not at all. In fact, he wasn't even present in class that day.
So how close were you to the victim?
He's my favorite student.
Then where were you at 3:37 p.m. last Friday?
I was with Clyburn and Woodard in the library until we left around 3:35. I did hear that Matthew beat Mr. Pritchard in fantasy football last week.
Yeah, I obviously wasn't thrilled about it, but I'm not crazy enough to kill someone for beating me in an online game.
Do you have an alibi for 3:37 p.m. last Friday then?
Last Friday? Yeah. After the pep rally, my PE students and I went out to the side field to play kickball. We're really trying to beat Walker this year.
A witness claims that you had an altercation with the victim after he cut in the lunch line on Friday.
I raised my voice.
You also made him go to the back of the line?
Well, that's my policy. Anytime anyone cuts in the line, you must know I was nowhere near the library after school.
What were you doing then?
I was in my classroom cleaning my trophies.
So you were alone?
Hey, Mr. Walker, did you see the roster? We're taking dubs.
Yeah, right. My team's gonna beat you worse than the Jets beat the Cowboys.
Whatever.
I wasn't until Reagan walked in and we started talking about how I'm gonna beat her team in kickball this year.
He was in there. We were talking about kickball, but I was trying to end the conversation so I could go get some Chick-fil-A. Oh, BTW, Matthew popped this really expensive spirit tunnel at the pep rally last Friday, and Miss Foley was totes mad at him.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Obviously, I was frustrated, but it was just an accident.
A very expensive accident.
I wasn't mad at him. I was mad at the situation. Plus, from 3:30 to 4, I had cheer practice to prepare for the football game that night.
I felt for a pulse, but there was none, so I started CPR.
I left for a few minutes to talk to Clyburn.
He's my favorite student.
I'm not crazy enough to kill someone for beating me in an online game.
I was in my classroom cleaning my trophies until Reagan walked in and we started talking about how I'm gonna beat her team in kickball this year.
Obviously, I was frustrated, but it was just an accident.
Hey, what's wrong?
Just his case. Every possible suspect I could think of has an alibi.
Sydney, you know how these cases are. Don't lose sleep over it.
You're probably right. For all we know, he had a heart attack.
Go home.
Excuse me?
Don't let the case get in your head. Go home.
We recently discovered some interesting security camera footage. Can you explain this? Now both Miss Woodard and Matoka said that the three of you were together at the time of the murder. Obviously, this isn't true. What really happened? Thank you for coming in on such short notice.
Not a problem. Just tell me you found out who did this.
Yeah, we're cracking down on some final suspects. You lied to us, Miss Matoka.
No, I didn't. I was with Klyber and Woodard.
Uh-huh.
We were talking in the library the whole time.
That's where we disagree. Woodard and Klyber stepped out of the library for a few minutes, didn't they?
Clyber, hey, Clyber, I need you. Okay. Can you come, I need to talk to you. Okay.
That's a cute story, but unless you have proof...
The victim, according to Rimweb, was absent from your class that morning. And I'm guessing it wasn't just a coincidence that there was a test on that same day.
Okay. I need to take my test because I wasn't here.
No, I've been waiting all this time, like 30 minutes. I need to go home, so just do all this work.
So out of revenge, you gave him a 216-page homework packet.
This is circumstantial at best.
Really? Then explain this. Klyber and Woodard left the scene of the crime just before Matthew's death, leaving you alone with him.
Why? What the heck? Because I'm tired and I want to go home.
This is so...
Why'd you do it?
He just got on my last nerve.
It's over. You're under arrest for the murder of Matthew Nelson.